What's going on, everybody? In this video I want to talk about some Bitcoin news. We're also going to look at some earnings results. We have Bitfarms and Core Scientific. Now if you guys get something useful out of this, you know what to do, and let's get started. And we've had some interesting news on Bitcoin in the last few days. Here's something really interesting: the Meyer multiple. It hits the lowest level since the FTX collapse. How this indicator works is the indicator compares Bitcoin's current price to its 200-day moving average. The resulting ratio is used as a buy or sell signal, and its creator Trace Mayer considers a reading below 2.4 to be buy territory. We also have another indicator that we should be moving up soon as well. Bitcoin whale transactions hit the highest level in 4 months amid this crypto dip. The whales have been buying. Sentiment found that wallets holding between 10 and 1,000 Bitcoin rapidly accumulated as Bitcoin fell under 50,000 during Crypto Black Monday. It's clearly accumulation, said crypto quant founder and CEO Ki-Young Ju, who reported that more than 400,000 Bitcoin has moved to permanent holder addresses since early July. Although he also said that these whales holding Bitcoin for more than 3 years sold their holdings to new whales between March and June, but added that there's no significant selling pressure from old whales at this time. Could this be partially the Mt. Gox holders? I don't know. On August 3, Cointelegraph reported that whales were moving Bitcoin off exchanges at the highest rate in 9 years. And Bitcoin whales with at least 1,000 coins moved the most Bitcoin out of exchanges since 2015. However, between August 2 and 6, we did see outflows from the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Although BlackRock's IBIT has been holding very steady, I do suspect they're injecting it, making sure that they don't see any outflows there. I believe there's one day that they saw an outflow since inception. Now, I showed you guys news about Morgan Stanley offering, advertising crypto to their clients. Well, Wells Fargo might be doing the same soon as well. Wells Fargo reportedly plans to offer Bitcoin ETFs after Morgan Stanley's announcement. And if you didn't get the scoop yesterday, Morgan Stanley's investment advisors, which advise for 1.3 trillion in assets, is set to offer spot Bitcoin ETFs to their clients. Before, they could not advertise them. Before, they could not say, hey, would you like to buy some spot Bitcoin ETFs? The clients would have to seek them out themselves, ask the advisors about them. Now advisors can pitch them to their clients. Well, now Wells Fargo is reportedly looking to do the same. And several sources at the bank believe they will quickly join other investment banks in the race to meet rising demand from clients for investing in Bitcoin. Crypto insider Andrews AP Abacus added that Wells Fargo is next to offer exposure to other ETFs along with BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust and Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund. He thinks a full platform approval could come by next month. We also have some positive XRP news. Basically, the judge ordered Ripple to pay $125 million. However, the SEC could appeal, but this is definitely a step in the right direction here. And that did cause a nice spike for XRP. However, it needs to break this wall in the 60-cent range. It has done this before, but it's short-lived. It would be nice to actually see a break over the 60-cent range and utilize it as a support for once. Now, I want to talk about earnings briefly. We had Bitfarms, we had Core Scientific yesterday. Both of these miners posted unprofitable quarters. Core Scientific guided for profitability, which was kind of surprising considering the halving and all. Bitfarms did beat their EPS, but still not profitable. And one thing with Bitfarms is they didn't post a profit last quarter when many did. The vast majority of miners did, actually. And the quarter before that, there were miners that were posting profitability there too. So to see that they're unprofitable, haven't even reached profitability yet this cycle, that's a bit worrying. As for forward guidance, they're expecting a $63 million quarter moving forwards, which is an increase in revenue. And it actually, I believe this is a record quarter for Bitfarms. Yeah, that would be a record quarter, and they would beat their last cycle peak revenue, which would be nice to see finally. Following Bitfarms' chart, it's in a pretty clear pattern. You could definitely say it's in a buy zone and consider selling at the top, buying at the lower range of this pattern. Kind of similar to Iron's chart. I showed you guys that the other day. Buy in this zone, sell in the top zone. There's been plenty of opportunities if you're patient enough to sell up here and accumulate down here. I do suspect we will continue to see this general trend play out. Now, looking at Core Scientific, for some reason people were trying to steer me away from Iron and telling me Core Scientific was just such a better, more efficient miner. Well, they reported their earnings, they missed. They reported a loss. They did not achieve profitability. I don't know why they expected it. This was one of the only miners, along with Iron, expecting profitability. I'm not sure Iron is going to hit profitability. The positive here is they did beat their revenue estimate, but this was very, very sandbagged. You'll see that they expected a $128 million quarter. Let's see what they had last quarter. They saw a $180 million quarter last quarter. So they did see sequential revenue decline, meaning revenue dropped quarter over quarter. That's okay. Many miners expect that. But the thing is, Core Scientific expected like a $40 million decrease in revenue. One thing worth watching for is this descending resistance. If we get a breakout of it, you could definitely play it on a swing trade. We also have a gap down here in the 5 area up to 6. As for forward guidance, they're expecting another unprofitable quarter. Revenue is expected to decline. They're expecting a $101 million quarter for revenue when we just got a $141 million reported. Now, as many of you know, CleanSpark is reporting earnings today. They're expecting to post a loss. They're expecting a $110 million quarter for revenue. One thing to realize is this is only like a $1 million decrease from last quarter, which was a record. And another thing with CleanSpark is they posted a profit last quarter. The quarter before that, they posted a profit. The quarter before that, they posted a non-GAAP profit, but standardized, they posted a loss. You know, to me, you need to look no further than CleanSpark. If you want the best miner, if you want the most efficient miner, if you want the best miner in terms of when they sell their Bitcoin, complete understanding of the 4-year cycle, I think CleanSpark gets it. CleanSpark understands that you want to aggressively grow during the bear market. You want to sell your Bitcoin on the way down, not hodl like Hut 8 did last cycle, which definitely hurt them when you look at them compared to other miners. There are many miners that have caught up and surpassed Hut 8 in terms of hash rate, etc. So the important thing to do is these miners need to grow during the bear market. These miners need to take advantage and sell their Bitcoin at the top. And this is something CleanSpark is good at. I don't know if they have a good understanding of the 4-year cycle, a good understanding of the chart, or combination of both, but they seem to know when to hodl. They seem to know when to sell. We had some recent news from Mara that they are going to be using their money to buy Bitcoin. While that is kind of cool and that is great, the thing to realize is this gives CleanSpark an advantage to catch up even more. While other miners might be utilizing their money to buy Bitcoin, and I'll admit if Bitcoin rises in price, that gives them more capital to then grow. You know, if that money was otherwise put towards hash rate growth to ensure that you stay competitive against the other miners, I think that is more important. Because think about this, if Bitcoin just goes sideways for the next 3 to 6 months, which I kind of doubt, how does that help Mara if they bought that Bitcoin? When instead they could have bought a bunch more machines, increased the hash rate, and then essentially mined part of that Bitcoin. I think most important with these miners is seeing hash rate growth. If they announce that they're buying Bitcoin, I'd honestly prefer to see that they're increasing hash rate, buying machines rather than Bitcoin. But that's not to say that strategy can't work on the short term. If Bitcoin were to rally, this would massively benefit Mara by buying Bitcoin rather than increasing hash rate, especially if they capitalize it and sell that Bitcoin to then, you know, add the hash rate. But back to CleanSpark, we did fill our gap to the 10 to 12s. I was wrong. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage. Also, we are following kind of this long broadening pattern. Many miners have it. CleanSpark's is a little more wide, I guess you could say. But you know, generally the miners are going up and to the right. We're following ascending supports and we're finding resistance on these ascending resistances. In general, the Bitcoin miners are going up and to the right, and I expect that to continue. CleanSpark also has a gap to the upside to fill. I believe the market is pricing in a bad earnings. CleanSpark dropped from where it was till now in the last couple of days. CleanSpark has dropped about 40%. I think the market has seen what other miners have posted, seeing that other miners have posted unprofitability. Other miners have either missed their EPS or their revenue. Other miners have guided for unprofitability next quarter. I think that's part of why the market is a little bit fearful. Also, chart-wise, we broke an important support level. This 14 was a pretty long-term support, and the fact that we broke it is a pretty big negative that did cause a negative reaction. These extremes are the times you want to take advantage. We're also oversold on the daily. That doesn't mean we don't drop more, but look at every time CleanSpark has seen these levels on the daily. Has it been a buying opportunity? Let's see. Well, right here, CleanSpark was oversold almost. Not as oversold as it was here, but what did we see? We saw a huge reaction, a huge pop to the upside shortly after. What about back here when CleanSpark was oversold? We did see a run-up after that. How about during the bear market? Not as much. You did see run-ups, short-term pops, but they continued down. Keep in mind, in a bear market, doesn't matter if you're oversold, you can have a dead cat bounce and then continue to be selling off, have these short-term bounces so then it can keep moving down on the RSI. But in a bull market, if you believe you're in a bull trend, you want to take advantage when these Bitcoin miners are oversold. Throughout this whole bull market, there has only been like 3 instances where we've been at a similar RSI, and all 3 instances have been buying opportunities. How are you guys feeling about CleanSpark's upcoming earnings? Let me know what you think about the results if you're watching this post earnings. Now, do you guys think they're gonna hit profitability? Do you think they're gonna miss their EPS? Do you think they're gonna miss or beat their revenue? If they can beat their revenue by a few percent, they will see a record quarter. And that would be pretty awesome considering that we just got through the halving. And the fact that they're barely expecting a decrease in revenue in the first place versus all the other Bitcoin miners basically expecting a big drop in revenue is a huge positive when you think about us just getting through the halving. And a lot of it is due to CleanSpark's recent acquisitions. That increase in hash rate is making up for those rewards being cut in half. And soon, like I've said in the beginning, Bitcoin's price will more than make up for the fact the miners' rewards have been cut in half. Just wait. Or don't wait. If you want to sell, go ahead and sell to us. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.